Hey everybody, today I'm going to be creating a card, and before I get started I wanted to say that all of the supplies will be listed down below. They're always in the description box and over on my website, so if you're wondering where I got something or what something is that I use if I don't explain it in the video, all of the supplies will always be listed in the description box. Also, if you like card tutorials, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up and so I know to make more. So I'm going to start off with some Arteza watercolor paper, and I recently got this from Arteza to do a review. If you want to see that video, it will be linked in the upper right hand corner. Overall, I love this paper. It is very textured, but it is very good paper. It takes a lot of water, which I like, and it didn't really buckle or anything, and there was no little paper pieces that came up. All right, so I added water, a little bit of water to the watercolor paper. This way, when I use the Aqua pens or Aqua Flow pens, the water just kind of flows out and blends out. And I'm using the Nuvo Aqua pens, Aqua Flow pens, I'm sorry. And the colors I'm using is from the Summer Holiday set. And the colors are Aqua Splash and Lemon Zest. I really love these colors together. And again, I'm just kind of creating a little background for, because I'm going to be doing some stamping, and I knew that I wanted to do the background first just to kind of get a more organic feel. I didn't want to be too technical with coloring the flowers. I just kind of wanted to play around. And so I created the background first, and then I'll be doing the stamping, which I'm going to be using the Altenew Build a Flower Larkspur stamp set. I got this recently and it is a really nice set. It is for stamp layering, so there's several stamps to layer up the flower, but I love when they have the outline stamp because then I can basically do the flower how I want. So I'm using my Tonic stamp platform because I'm going to be using VersaMark ink to stamp, and when I'm using VersaMark ink on watercolor paper, I like to stamp it twice. That way I know for sure that I'm getting a nice crisp stamped image so that the embossing powder can stick to it. So I ink it up, stamp it, then I'm going to go back in again, and this is just some VersaMark ink. You can use any embossing ink pad that you have, and stamp it one more time. And I like the platform because I don't have to fiddle around. Well, honestly, I would never try to stamp twice without the stamp platform. This is definitely a game changer for me, and since I've gotten back into card making, I've really loved having this tool. So the embossing powder that I love to use, especially for flowers and sentiments, is the Ranger Super Fine Detail White Embossing Powder. And like I said in the beginning of the video, all of these supplies will be listed down below, so you can definitely go check it out and see where you can find the products that I use if you are interested. So I decided that I wanted another flower, so I am doing a little bit more playing around with the colors, and I do go in after and paint again the flowers, but I just wanted a more organic feel to the flowers and the coloring of the flowers. So I started with the base kind of color, and so I'm just going in with the first I put the water down, and then I'll go in a little bit with the Aqua pens. And you'll see me kind of swipe off. That's because the pens are water-based, and when there's a lot of water on the paper, the color gets saturated with the water, so I have to kind of swipe off on a dry area so the color will come back to the tip of the pen. I hope that is making sense. So here I'm just going back in with that aqua color just to add a little bit more of it to the center of the flower. So I added a little bit of water first, then I'm going in with the Nuvo pen, and then I'm going in with the watercolor brush, which is also from Tonic Studios, which I absolutely love. And I'm going in and just kind of squirting out a little bit of water, wiping it off, and then going back in and blending out, well, kind of in. It's kind of hard to explain. So I go from the edge of the end of the petal to the center of the petal. That way I am pushing the color to the center because I wanted more saturated color in the center. And then I wanted to see, as you could see here, I'm kind of adding a little bit of that yellow, and it does create a more of a green color, which I really like. And I did end up stamping out the other flower. I didn't show it on video, but I do stamp it out, emboss it as I did the first one, and now I'm going back in with the colors to kind of create the look that I want. And you could definitely do this with regular watercolors, zig markers, Arteza, real brush pens, anything that you want to color your flowers with. And you don't necessarily have to use watercolors or watercolor pens. You can use alcohol markers if that's what you like, on just regular cardstock or Bristol paper, whatever you like. So I'm taking the coordinating die set. There's only 2 dies in this set, so it was fairly cheap. That's why I purchased it to go along with the stamp set. Die cutting them out with my Platinum 6 machine, and it cuts the watercolor paper perfectly. This circle frame was created using the Umbrella Crafts die set. It is exclusive set to scrapbook.com, and I just put 2 together to create the sort of frame that I'm going to be using on my card. And I inked up the edges of that circle with cracked pistachio, which I'm now using again to create a background for my card. And I am using a stencil from Altenew. It was a little bit tricky to use. As you can see, it kind of picks up, lifts up when I am using the blending tool. So I really had to be patient and just dab on instead of blending on, I guess. And I like how the background ended up. It was just kind of subtle kind of color in the back, which I really wanted. For the card base, I am using the Neenah Solar White cards, exclusive to scrapbook.com. And again, they will be listed down below. They're really nice to have because then I don't have to worry about cutting out a card base. I have them just pull them out. They're already scored for you, which is really nice. And I just kind of varnish the fold and I have my card base. Now I'm going to start putting my card together and all of the different pieces that I've cut out and the flowers that I've colored. And I'm using the Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive Clear Craft Glue. I love this stuff, and it is definitely a really nice adhesive to have because it dries fairly fast, but not too fast. As you could see, I'm still kind of playing around with the placement of where I want things. But then once it sits there for a few minutes, then it's, there to stay. I did pop up the top flower with some foam adhesive, and now I'm just going in with some enamel dots. These are from Altenew, and I love these. I have a few packs of them. I pick a couple packs up every time that I order from them. And now I'm going in with some splatters. This is the Distress Spray in Picket Fence. It is definitely my go-to for when I want to add white splatters. Also, I did add a little bit of upholstery thread behind that top flower just to add a little bit more texture to the card and a little bit more interest. So I felt the background needed a little bit more of the aqua color. So I just put a little bit on my work surface here, and then I'm using the watercolor brush to splatter on some of that color in the background. So at this point, the card could have been done, but I decided that I wanted to add a wood veneer piece. And this is one that I had already embossed with some white embossing powder. And so I just pulled up the flower, which I hit it with my heat tool to warm up the adhesive a little bit, and then it was a little bit easier to pull off. And then I just add that wood veneer piece, and I just think that it kind of gives a nice extra little something to the card. And I think that, oh no, I do add my sentiment, and I changed it out. Now it says cultivate kindness, and I think we definitely need more kindness in the world. So there you go. There's my card, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. I love reading your comments, so please leave one down below. Also visit my website and find me on social media. I have all of the links down below. Here's a couple more videos you might enjoy, and I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye!